This morning, we have gotten some absolutely insane news about Kawhi Leonard and Steve Ballmer and how potentially Kawhi was getting paid $28 million under the table so that Steve Ballmer could avoid the salary tax back in 2019-2020. And real quick, before we get into the video, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and hit the like button and the new hype button that YouTube has rolled out. It's going to pop up as soon as you like the video. It's supposed to help smaller channels like mine grow and get more views, get a bigger audience, all that kind of stuff. And I think my channel is pretty great, man. So it would be great if you could hit that hype button. We're just going to jump right into this. So all this news broke out on the Pablo Torres Finds Out YouTube channel, where he goes over all these allegations with documents and former employees. I'll explain everything in just a second, but at least you can see the title right there on the video. Kawhi Leonard signed a secret $28 million deal. Steve Ballmer funded a fraud. And that's what we're going to be going over here. Kawhi Leonard reportedly paid $28 million for no-show job with Clippers as a way to get around the salary cap. Torre laid out the alleged scandal on his program, Pablo Torre Finds Out, on Wednesday. The show, which features plenty of direct quotes from legal documents, made the argument Leonard was paid $28 million through a company owned by Ballmer to essentially do nothing. Ballmer is accused of using the agreement as a way to pay Leonard more than his contract. So let's actually get into the situation itself so we have some context here. The entire situation revolves around a now bankrupt company called Aspiration, a tree planting service funded by Steve Ballmer. Aspiration entered a $28 million legal agreement with KL2 Aspire LLC, a company owned by Kawhi. Which at that point sounds all fine and dandy, right? Like, you know, Kawhi signed an agreement to endorse this thing, this company Aspiration that plants trees, all that kind of stuff. Okay, a bunch of different celebrities were promoting it at the time. I think some of the Avengers were even doing it, like Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. So there's nothing too crazy about that, right? Well, there's definitely something wrong about it when you can't find any actual public endorsement from Kawhi Leonard. As the article continues, Torre attempted to find any evidence that Leonard ever marketed for or endorsed the company, but came up empty. A clause in one of the contract documents between Aspiration and KL2 Aspire stated Leonard could decline to proceed with any action desired by the company, essentially giving Leonard the ability to get paid without doing anything. Another clause stated Leonard would only be paid if he remained a member of the Clippers. And that's where this entire situation really just busts wide open, and there's really nothing to hide here. Why the heck would you ever pay your star player, your best player, one of the most recognizable faces in the league, $28 million to essentially do nothing with this tree planting company? The article continues, payments from Aspiration to KL2 were sent to Dennis Robertson, Leonard's advisor, who was investigated by the NBA in 2019 for asking for impermissible benefits. The NBA completed that investigation into Robertson, also known as Uncle Dennis, and found no evidence the Clippers granted illegal benefits to Leonard while pursuing him in free agency. That's what I was referring to earlier when I said that there were plenty of people around the league that were wondering, how did they not give up more to get Kawhi? Anyways, I digress. Torre spoke to a handful of former Aspiration employees about the situation, one of which agreed to do an interview with a voice modifier. That employee claimed they were told the agreement between Aspiration and Leonard was done to circumvent the salary cap. The entire alleged scandal was summed up by Torre's show in 4.5-minute video. There's a link to it if you want to check it out. Now, the Clippers did actually post a response to all this, saying neither Mr. Ballmer nor the Clippers circumvented the salary cap or engaged in any misconduct related to Aspiration. Any contrary assertion is provably false. But no matter what way you look at it, this entire situation is just a terrible look, not only on Kawhi Leonard, but on Steve Ballmer and the Clippers. Because if everything that we're seeing and reading is true, this is a direct violation of the NBA's rules and guidelines. And if there's one thing that we know that Adam Silver does not mess around with anything that comes to violating his rules and his NBA. And I also want to add this little bit of it too. The salary cap is there to literally make it harder for these rich NBA owners to sign all these great players and giving them all this money. Steve Ballmer, who most of us probably know, is one of the richest people on the planet. He's a billionaire. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, he's the richest owner owner in the entire NBA. We've seen him show time and time again that he is not afraid to pay big bucks to get big players. But to do something like this, to fund this basically fraud tree planting company, which is a very big deal, by the way. Like, I don't know if anyone really understands how important it is to keep planting trees and how important it is for the planet and the environment. To basically fund a fake version of that and then paying your best player under the table through a bogus contract just so you could avoid like showing that on your actual contracts with the Clippers. That's just insane to me. I know the Clippers responded saying that this was provably false, but to be completely honest with you, there's just no chance that they're going to get around this. I mean, unless something comes to light that maybe no one saw, maybe Torre didn't find out. I don't know, but all this just looks pretty damning on the entire organization. Please do let me know in the comments what you think about this entire situation. And until next time, peace.